Gold Invest. Explore opportunity.
So this is the biggest mining show in the world, PDAC in Toronto. This year, I think we're gonna have a good show. Gold is still over $2,850-ish. Yep. That's a good sign already. And here I'm with Mike Burke, that you might not know yet, but he's from a company that we've been talking about for a long time now and that you like very much, the Sitka Gold. They had a good year, let's say it like that, without saying too much already.
Yeah.
It's the first time that we speak,
yeah.
So just give us a very short background on yourself.
Okay, myself, I'm the VP of Corporate Development and a Director of Sitka Gold. My background, I'm a geologist. So I've spent most of my career in the Yukon. I spent actually 21 years with the Yukon Geological Survey. It's the government agency, as the regional geologist for the Yukon. So I'm extremely familiar with the Yukon's geology and mineral deposits and potential. So I left the Geological Survey back in 2011, rejoined the private industry, joined Sitka Gold 3 years ago. Very easy decision for me to make because I was very familiar with their projects, with their management who I'd met through my previous role with the survey. It was a natural transition. I was very happy when Corco, the CEO, approached me and asked me if I wanted to join their team because I was very, very familiar with him in the group.
Yeah, and it's always good to be asked to fill a role and not have to go around and asking for.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's good to hear. As I said, we've been talking about Sitka for a while now, but of course, unfortunately, there's still people that don't know about the company. So could you give us like a 60-second description of the RC Gold project in the Yukon? What makes it unique, for example?
Okay, so it's the focus of Sitka Gold. They have other assets in North America. We won't talk about those, but you can look on the website. The focus has been the RC Gold because that's where we've made a significant gold discovery of an intrusion-hosted gold deposit. Now, Cor's been working in this area. Corco, the CEO, started drilling there in 2020 with just some initial drill holes. By 2023, put out an initial resource on 2 deposits that we discovered, the Blackjack and the Eiger. Blackjack was the higher grade of the 2. So the last 2 seasons, we've continued to focus on defining the Blackjack deposit. How big is it? We still don't know. We haven't fully defined it. But with these last 2 years of drilling, we've been able to update the resource from its initial 900,000 ounces. The resource at the Blackjack deposit now stands at about 1.3 million ounces at a grade of 1.01 grams per ton in the indicated category. So that's a tighter drill spacing. Yeah. And then an additional 1 million ounces inferred resources at a grade of 0.94. So the key thing about this, RC Gold, same belt of rocks as Fort Knox in Alaska, the Eagle Mine in the Yukon, Banyan Gold's property, and of course the beautiful Snowline Gold Valley Gold deposit. These are all geologically similar. So that's what really makes it exciting, you know, that Snowline has found this higher grade deposit, and that's what we're finding as well. A gram per ton is higher grade than you see in these deposits.
That's what I was going to ask. You people here, 1 gram per ton, and I and other people that have followed the story know, well, for these kind of deposits in this area or higher grade, let's say. Yeah. And you've been chasing that with until the end of 2024, how many drill meters did you do?
About 27,000 on the whole property, 27,000 meters. Yeah, and just to put the grade into context, the Eagle Mine that Victoria Gold ran, its grade was 0.63. The Fort Knox mine in Alaska started out at about a gram per ton, but currently they're mining 0.3 grams per ton. So when profitably. Profitably. Crazy. But, you know, when you get to the point paying off your capital costs, you know, these things are very profitable at low grades. So to have, you know, our deposit with the great infrastructure it has being 1 gram per ton, you know, that's a good 40% over the grade that Victoria Gold was mining. So, you know, that it is higher grade, you know, it's hard to call 1 gram per ton high grade. The grade is king in this business, and we've got grade.
So very nice. Now 2025 is going to be a lot of work for you, I think. And we said 27,000 meters drilled so far. 2025, you're going to drill, or you started drilling already,
Yes.
30,000 meters. Can you tell us when will you drill where, and what is the aim overall?
Okay, so yes, we've budgeted for 30,000 meters of drilling this year. We're financed, so we have about $14 million in the bank. So we're fully financed for that 30,000 meters of drilling. It's a big property, 431 square kilometers, but we're focused on a core area that we call the Clear Creek Intrusive Complex. And that's where there's this cluster of intrusions that all poke up in an area about 3 by 5 kilometers. So in the northern part of that, the Blackjack and Eiger deposits are located there. So we're allocating 15,000 meters of drilling there because we haven't fully defined those deposits yet. So we got to keep drilling there to, figure out how big they are, add to that resource that we've recently announced.
So that they might perhaps be connected? Is that what they're
Well,
saying?
there's certainly the pit is expanding. It encompasses an area called the Saddle Deposit or Saddle Zone that we've had intersections like 80 meters of 1.2 grams. So there's definitely stuff within that proposed or conceptual pit that will convert from what is now considered waste to being potential ore. So definitely those two deposits are only 1.5 kilometers apart. We'll see what happens when we drill there. So that's, half of our budget is allocated there. And then we have some new discoveries more to the south, 3 and 5 kilometers to the south in a couple separate intrusions that we drilled late last year, 2 holes in each of them, the Ros Goble and Pukan zones. We had drill holes that intersected in Ros Goble. It was plus 100 meters of a little over 1 gram with 40 meters of 2 grams. Pukan hit lower grade, but broad interval of mineralization. So we're going back into those areas. 5,000 meters on Pukan, 10,000 meters on Ros Goble, and that's kind of the broad brush. Of course, we're geologists, so as we gather information, we'll adjust a bit likely, but that's how we've budgeted or allocated.
And that is going to be drilled this year. Well, is it going to carry into next year? No.
Well, I mean, I'm sure we won't be done, right? So that's this year's drilling. And so obviously, we're looking forward to a lot of success. The amount of drilling that we're doing is substantial, but it's likely not going to be enough we're not going to be finished up there by any stretch.
Well, that's certainly true. I mean, you can always do more, and then you always have to do additional exploration work and metallurgical tests, what have you. And I think a lot of people or investors in the space don't give enough importance to the metallurgical testing.
That's right. And we have done, a couple of years ago, we did initial bottle roll tests on the Blackjack and Eiger that show it's not refractory. So like I mentioned, Fort Knox, the Eagle Mine, all these other deposits, they're geologically similar. So we wouldn't expect any, red flags. And that's initial testing showed that this will be, recoverable through heap leaching. But we've also done recent testing, initial testing on looking at milling and gravity separation. So it's amenable to that as well. We've got some results that show that that's a potential. That's how Fort Knox started out. It didn't start out as a heap leach. It started out as a milling. So when you've got higher grade, if you're going to get 10% better recovery off of milling and gravity concentration and leaching it after, that's going to be worthwhile. So we have some optionality there because of the grades that we're encountering in the Blackjack. We certainly have to look at that. So this year will involve more metallurgical test work as well.
Well, certainly sounds like you've got your work cut out for.
We sure do. Yeah, it's good though.
Just to sum it up. So why should investors consider taking a position or taking a closer look at the company now? Because yes, there's still a lot of things to come, but Sitka is one of the better performing stocks out there in the junior space, gold space already, and has been for a while. So where's the additional potential? I know you can't make any.
No. But what is better, right? Every gold stock out there, there's many that are undervalued, including ours. You look, we've made 2 discoveries of 2 significant deposits. So we've got a solid resource base, and we have the potential in these other zones to add to that resource base. So, you know, in that Lassonde curve where you've made a discovery and things start to flatten out. Well, we've got discoveries at the bottom and discoveries where we've started to find a resource in the middle. You know, we're well positioned to find additional ounces. So that's, you know, that's going to be the benefit of us, you know, hopefully making additional discoveries, adding to that resource base. It's an excellent located property. You know, it's only a couple-hour drive out of Dawson City.
Yeah, we didn't mention it, but when I said you're already drilling, that's because you have the better access than
that's right.
of other projects.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. So there's a lot of upside. You know, I think a lot of gold companies are undervalued. I think we're undervalued. And the thing is, we've got the money in the bank. We've got a project that deserves a whole bunch of drilling. We're doing that. So in the next year, there's 30,000 meters of drilling that's coming up, and we've got the money to do it. We don't have to go raise money to meet our goals. Goal is to continue expanding our resource and make new discoveries that, you know, will hopefully substantially increase our resource. So yeah, it's a fun year. We've got a clear runway in front of us.
Thank you. I think that's a good closing remark right there. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good talking to you.